We started learning GST with what? Goods or service. Goods or service has to be supplied. Supply can be either interstate supply or intrastate. Intrastate supply, what will be levied, everyone? IGST, intrastate, CGST and SGST. Once GST gets levied, GST has to be collected and paid by a taxable person. How will he collect? How will he pay? He will calculate GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax. Once you calculate the value, you will prepare the tax invoice, credit note, debit note, and delivery challan also. Now, all these tax invoice, credit note, debit note, and delivery challan which you have gone ahead and prepared, will you throw them or you should maintain them? And hence comes the chapter of accounts and records where you should go ahead and maintain them. Clear, everyone? Chalo, please come to your accounts and record. In the chapter of accounts and record, we'll go ahead and learn how much time you should maintain your accounts and record. What are the accounts and records you should go ahead and maintain? Sir, who should maintain what accounts? All these things are being told in the chapter. Accounts and record. This chapter is a C graded chapter. It means 2 or 3 attempt में once they go ahead and ask a small 2 to 4 mark का question. 2 to 4 is the maximum which can be asked from this chapter. Everyone over here now. Section number in this chapter we'll be learning section number 35 and section number 36. Section number 35 goes ahead and talks about what are the accounts and records to be maintained, etc. 36 goes ahead and tells, sir, how much time you should go ahead and maintain the accounts and records. Section number 35, one goes ahead and says who should maintain the accounts and record? Every registered person. Who should maintain, everyone? Every registered person shall keep and maintain at the principal place of business as per your registration certificate. Can you tell me who should maintain accounts and record? Registered person. Where should he maintain? Principal place of business. Can I go ahead, everyone? What detail he should maintain? He should maintain true and correct accounts of PCOs. What is PCOs, everyone? Production and manufacture of goods. Inward and outward supply of goods, services, or both. Stock of goods. I for ITC, output tax payable and paid, and such other particulars as told in rule number 56. Rule number 56 I have given below. Everyone over here now listen. Your exam question, who should maintain accounts and record? Registered person. Where should he maintain? Principal place of business. What should he maintain? PCOs. Don't remember PCOs, remember the content. Are we clear? I'll tell you again and again, you have to revise multiple times. And trust me, if a student has done 4 to 5 times, he has revised, no, you will feel sir is sitting beside me and telling me everything in the exam. In the exam, when you're writing answer, no, you'll be like, sir is telling, yes, PCOs, right. It will become such easy, but you have to do multiple revision again and again. Can I go ahead, everyone? Everyone, students find it difficult to attend revision once only, sir, to sit 3-4 days. Baba, you just imagine you are just listening. We are talking continuously. Correct or not? And I am telling you, you just have to listen 4 to 5 times. No one can stop an exemption. But you have to practice question answer. Only listening and going will not help. In exam, you should know how to write. Can I go ahead, everyone? Everyone over here now. Listen. So, sir, if I have more than one place of business in the registration certificate, always remember accounts relating to each place of business should be maintained at additional place of business. Tell me one thing, Ram ka accountant went ahead and told him additional place of business ka accounts can be maintained at principal place of business, additional place of business may not required. Is the accountant correct or wrong? Are accountant is wrong. If it is a chartered accountant, it will always tell you that additional place of business ka account should be maintained at additional place of business. Next. One circular is there, requirement of maintaining books in case of auction of tea, coffee, rubber, etc. Everyone listen to me very carefully. What happens? In the tea board, the tea ka auction will happen. Now all these auctioneers will come to the tea board and do the auction. You will also keep your stock in the tea board. So sir, are we required to maintain our accounts in the tea board? Because tea board we are declaring as our additional place of business because we are storing our tea at the tea board. You should declare it as your additional place of business. But you can inform your jurisdictional officer and additional place of business ka accounts you can maintain at your principal place of business. This is one exception which has been given. In which case, everyone? Tea, coffee, rubber, etc. Clarified. Principal and the auctioneer has to declare the warehouse as the additional place of business. T-board ka warehouse is to be declared as your additional place of business, but books of accounts relating to additional place can be maintained at your principal place of business. Also, they shall intimate jurisdictional officer in writing. You should inform your jurisdictional officer that, sir, additional place of business ka accounts, we are not maintaining at additional place of business. We are maintaining at what? Principal place of business. The next one over here is, sir, should I maintain my accounts manually or I can maintain electronically also? Remember, registered person can keep accounts in electronic form also, but you have to always follow which everyone? Rule number 57. Rule number 57 goes ahead and says, sir, accounts and record maintained electronically, computer gone, records gone. No. Sir, proper backup of the record shall always be maintained and preserved. Whenever officer is asking, registered person shall produce on demand the records and document on demand. You should also provide the details of the file, passwords, etc. Whatever the details of the files officer is asking, password, etc. is asking, you should go ahead and provide. Everyone over here, tell me one thing. First of all, who should maintain accounts and record? Registered person. Where should he maintain? Principal place. What should he maintain? PCOs. Additional place of business ka accounts to be maintained at additional place of business. Can I maintain electronically? Yes. Now, there are some people who, even if they are unregistered, has to maintain accounts and record. Exam mein, they can ask you a short question. Who are the unregistered people who have to maintain their accounts and records? Sir, remember, whether registered or unregistered, owner, operator of godown or warehouse. So if you are running a godown or if you are running a warehouse where people can store their goods, remember, or if you are a transporter, you shall maintain records of consignor, consignee and other relevant record as told in rule number 58. So can you tell me who are the unregistered people who have to maintain their accounts and record? Owner, operator of godown or warehouse or transporter. Sir, rule number 58 goes ahead and says, if owner, operator or transporter, if he is registered person, he will have a GSTN number. If they are for transporter only, this point is there that for the purpose of generating e-way bill, no, if they are registered in multiple states, they can obtain what everyone? Unique common enrollment number, and that time their GSTN will not work. This is for the purpose of generating e-way bill. Are we clear everyone? Now, listen. Sir, if I am registered, if these people are registered, they will already have GSTN number. But if they are unregistered, then they should go ahead and enroll themselves by filing one form which is known as ENR01. So people, tell me one thing. How is government maintaining control on owner, operator of warehouse or godown or transporter? If they are registered, they will have GSTN number. They will have to maintain the books of account. If they are unregistered, they should obtain enrollment so that government knows about them. Next. What are the books of account to be kept by transporter? What are the books of account to be kept by owner, operator of warehouse or godown? Remember, transporter should keep records of goods transported, delivered, stored in transit along with the GSTN number of registered consignor and consignee for each of his branches. Sir, owner, operator of warehouse. Sir, if you are running a warehouse, what are the records should be maintained? Books of account with respect to the period for which goods remain in the warehouse. Sir, including particulars of dispatch, movement, receipt, disposal of such goods. What goods came, what goods went, how much time the goods were there. All the details should be maintained. They shall store goods in such a way that they can be identified item-wise and owner-wise, facilitating physical verification or inspection by the proper officer. If proper officer comes and asks you, which are the goods you are maintaining for Ramesh, then you should be able to say, these are Ramesh ka goods. Which are the goods you are maintaining for Suresh? You should be able to show him, these are Suresh ka goods. That way you should maintain your accounts and record, as well as you should store the goods in such a way. Is my point clear to all? People, remember, first of all, who are the people unregistered has to maintain books of account, owner, operator, warehouse and transporter. Secondly, they can also go ahead and ask you what record should be maintained by owner, operator or transporter. Please remember this point, everyone. Next. This is total bakwas, this is total bakwas, this is total bakwas. Section number 35.6. Listen. Section number 35.6 goes ahead and says, sir, I did not maintain the accounts and record of some books, of some goods. They are going ahead and telling, if registered person fails to account for goods, services or both in accordance with subsection 1, you have not gone ahead and maintained your books of account. They are telling the proper officer shall determine the tax payable on such goods and service as if such goods and service have been supplied. For an example, officer came here in your premises, he saw some goods, but that goods are not there in your stock. He will go ahead and assume as if those goods are being supplied by you, and 73 and 74 he will give you a demand order. This one is very, very important from this chapter. One small 1 mark or 2 mark MCQ can come. Sir, what is the period books of accounts are to be maintained? Section number 36, period of retention of accounts. Remember one thing, period of retention until the expiry of how many months? 72 months. From which date? This year ka due date of annual return. Say how many months, everyone? 72 months. Don't write 6-year income, write 72 months income. Sir, if registered person is a party to an appeal, revision proceeding before the appellate authority, appellate tribunal or court, they should maintain their accounts and record for how many months? 72 months or 1 year after the final disposal of the appeal, revision or proceeding, whichever is later. Tell me one thing, everyone. For an example, if I go ahead and ask you, this is the year 2021. Can you tell me 2021 ke liye the due date of annual return is what? 31st December 2000 and 31st December 2000 and can you tell me how many years you will maintain the accounts and record? 72 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So you should maintain your accounts till what date? 31st December 2000 and supposingly against you one appeal is going on. One appeal was going on. Your case for this year is going on. Can you, once 72 months gets over, can you destroy the books of account? No. Remember always, if appeal is going on, please don't destroy the accounts and record. After 72 months also, you should maintain it. Supposingly, the appeal was disposed of over here. So after the final disposal, for 1 more year, you should go ahead and maintain. So always remember, 72 months or after the appeal is disposed of, for how much time? 1 more year, whichever is later. Is my point clear to all? Everyone over here now. Now, people, you should always go ahead and maintain what? PISIOS, PCOS, right everyone? You should also always maintain PCOS. Now, they went ahead and told, sir, a person when he is maintaining PCOS means last is what? Such other detail as may be told in rule number 56, and in rule number 56, they have told some additional records which are to be maintained by a registered person. Rule number 56 goes ahead and says, if you are a registered person, rule number 56.1 says, if you are a registered person, you should maintain true and correct accounts of goods imported, goods exported, supplies which are attracting RCM, invoices, bill of supply, delivery challan, credit note, debit note, receipt voucher, payment voucher, refund voucher also should be maintained. Then every registered person other than composition shall maintain stock ka detail. What was the opening balance? What was the receipt? What was the supply? What are the goods lost? What are the goods stolen? What are the goods destroyed? What are the goods gifted? What are the goods given as free sample? All the details should be maintained by you. But tell me one thing, what details are not required to be maintained by composition dealer? Stock. The next one over here, you should also maintain detail relating to your advances. What is the advance received? What is the advance you have paid? What is the advance you have adjusted? Every person shall also maintain, other than composition dealer, should maintain the accounts of tax payable, including RCM, along with the tax collected, paid, ITC claimed, along with the tax invoice, debit note, credit note, and delivery challan. Now remember one thing, can I go ahead and tell you what details should not be maintained by composition dealer? Stock ka detail and tax ka detail. Remember this point very well, everyone. What details are not required to be maintained by a composition dealer? Stock ka detail and tax ka detail. Next, every person should also maintain details of their supplier, recipient, and storehouses. Who are your supplier? Who are your recipient? Where are you storing the goods? All details should be maintained by you. Not very important. But this point is very important. What details are not required to be maintained by composition dealer? Next. Sixth one, reading purpose. Eighth one, I want to read. Listen. They can ask you in the exam, what is the treatment of wrong entries? If supposingly you did one wrong entry, can you erase the entry? Can you go ahead and erase the entry? They are telling it should not be erased. Efface means what? Don't do all those things. They're telling what? Efface or overrating should not be done. Incorrect entries, except what? Clerical error, shall always be scored out under. You should score it out and you should sign over here. And then you should record the correct entry. They're telling thereafter the correct entry shall be recorded. Sir, I am maintaining electronic record. If you are maintaining electronic record, always remember a log of every entry edited or deleted should be maintained. You should maintain one logbook saying this entry was recorded earlier, we deleted it, and now this correct entry was recorded. This can be also a good question in your exam. What are the books of accounts to be maintained by an agent? Sir, agent should always maintain the accounts relating to what? Sir, particulars of authorization received from the principal to receive and supply. Sir, to supply the goods or to receive the goods, I have received one authorization. That authorization letter should be maintained by you. Secondly, particulars including DQV means description, quantity, value of goods, services received on behalf of every principal. People, what goods I have received, what goods I have supplied, all details should be maintained by you. Then details of accounts relating to furnished to every principal. I went ahead and gave accounts to the principal. Sir, this many goods were received, this many goods were supplied, this was my commission. That accounts also I should maintain. And lastly, the tax paid on the receipt of goods and service. Sir, whatever goods I have supplied on your behalf, on that, what was the tax paid? That detail also should be maintained. People, I believe it is good from exam point of view. C graded, but remember this agent wala point very well. The next one. Manufacturer, reading purpose, read at home. Service provider, reading purpose, read at home. I want to do 14th one. What are the books of accounts to be maintained by works contractor? People, I am a works contractor. What detail I should maintain? For whom did I do works contract? How much money I took for the works contract? What goods I bought for doing the works contract? What goods I used for doing the works contract? All details should be maintained. See, name and address of the person on whose behalf works contract was executed. Description, quantity, value of goods received and utilized in the works contract. Details of payment received with respect to each works contract. Name and address of supplier from where he received the goods and service. Everyone, which work contract did I do? Correct? For whom did I do the works contract? What was the payment received? What goods I bought? From whom did I buy? What goods I used? All details should be maintained by a works contractor. The last one is just for a reading purpose, not very important. Everyone, this chapter is a C graded chapter. Listen carefully. This chapter is a C graded chapter. First point, they can go ahead and ask you who is required to maintain and where he is required to maintain. This can be one question. If they ask you, people listen, what are the accounts to be maintained by registered person? If they ask you for 2 mark, write only PCO's income. Okay? If they ask you for 4 mark, you should write this also. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This 5 points say any 2, 3 point you write and come. If they ask you for 4 marks, because only writing PCOs, you will not get 4 marks. You might get also, but write little additional income, saying that registered person should maintain this also. Can I go ahead? Any 2, 3 point you write and come from here. Down 1. Huh? Next. Sir, who are the unregistered person who has to maintain the accounts and record? Transporter, owner, operator of warehouse. And this point you remember it. Can I go ahead? In the exam, remember item wise and owner wise. This word you use it. Godown ka operator should maintain accounts item wise and owner wise. This line you use it. Next. Sir, what is the period of retention? This can be a small question in the exam. Please be careful. What records are not to be maintained by composition dealer? This can be a small question. Remember this. What details are not required to be maintained by composition dealer? Stock detail and tax card details. What details what to do about wrong entries? They can ask you a small question. What details are to be maintained by an agent? They can ask you a small question. And the last can be, what details are to be maintained by a works contractor? I believe this much should be good enough. Other than this, practice some read. Don't practice. Read the question answers and go. From this chapter, just read the questions and go. 2 to 4 mark is maximum which is expected. I'll close my revision on the chapter of accounts and records.